Educators. My name is Suzanne Sumner, and I am an educator myself of 11 years. This presentation displays motivation strategies for educators. The purpose of this presentation is to display how my application experiences of motivation combined with my new knowledge from the Psychology of Classroom course content impacts practice. I will also share what insights I have developed in this process that I wish to share with those struggling with motivation issues to help them be successful. On this slide, I am sharing with you 5 motivation strategies that I have come to understand through my teaching experience and studies. Number 1, set clear goals. Define specific, achievable goals that give people a sense of direction and purpose. Use short-term goals to build momentum and long-term goals to sustain motivation. Number 2, provide constructive feedback. You want to give timely, specific feedback that highlights what was done well and where improvement is possible. Frame the feedback as a tool for growth rather than criticism. Number 3, emphasize progress, not perfection. Highlight improvement over time rather than focusing solely on end results. Acknowledge incremental progress to keep motivation levels high. Number 4, use rewards and recognition. You can offer small rewards, whether verbal praise or tangible incentives, to recognize effort and achievement. A sense of acknowledgement can really boost morale and sustain motivation. Number 5, incorporate relevant interest. Align task or learning material with the individual's personal interest where possible. This makes the work feel more relevant. Now I will share an analysis of how each of the 5 motivation strategies align with the theories of expectancy value and goal orientation. Here we are looking at the strategy, set clear goals. For the goal orientation theory, this strategy connects especially mastery-oriented goals that promote self-enhancement and growth. Setting clear goals helps students focus on learning objectives rather than just performance. Expectancy value theory. It emphasizes the importance of value in motivation. When clear goals are set, students see the relevance of tasks to their personal objectives. This increases the value component and reinforces the belief in the usefulness of the task. That's the attainment value. This clarity helps students see their progress, making tasks feel attainable and meaningful. For this strategy, goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That is known as a SMART goal. An intervention example includes help students set individual learning goals at the start of each term or unit. Break larger goals into smaller, manageable milestones. For instance, if the goal is to improve reading comprehension, then set a milestone for reading a certain number of pages per week and reflecting on the content. Review and adjust these goals periodically, allowing students to see their progress and make adjustments as needed. This strategy is to provide constructive feedback. Constructive feedback aligns with mastery goals by focusing on effort and improvement rather than competition or comparison. By highlighting growth areas rather than just accuracy, teachers encourage students to view errors as learning opportunities, thereby promoting a growth mindset and reducing the emphasis on performance goals, which often induces stress and a fear of failure. For the expectancy value theory, Feedback that emphasizes improvement can increase a student's belief in their capability. There's the expectancy. And it reinforces the perceived importance of learning over outcomes. Constructive feedback helps students see value in continuous improvement, enhancing their intrinsic motivation to pursue tasks with more effort. Or constructive feedback can help students understand where they are succeeding and where they need improvement. It builds trust and shows that feedback is a tool for growth, not criticism. An intervention example includes when you're giving feedback, use the sandwich method. Start with something positive, follow with a very specific suggestion for improvement, and end with encouragement such as, I noticed you did a great job organizing your ideas in your essay. Next time, let's work on adding more evidence to support each point. Keep up the hard work. This method helps students feel supported and motivated to improve rather than discouraged by criticism. Here's our next strategy. Emphasize progress, not perfection. For the goal orientation theory, it emphasizes progress over perfection as the key to nurturing a mastery-oriented approach. The GO theory suggests that focusing on personal growth rather than competitive success creates a learning environment where students feel motivated to take risks, develop their abilities, seeing success as an ongoing process rather than a final outcome. For the expectancy value theory, this approach aligns with the theory by reducing the cost aspect of motivation. That could include anxiety or fear of failure. It increases the task intrinsic value, helping students see it worthwhile. By recognizing their progress, students perceive the task as more achievable, thereby increasing expectancy and motivation. In addition, it reduces that fear of failure and builds confidence, as students learn that improvement over time is actually the goal. An intervention could look like creating a visual tool, like a progress chart or even a growth journal. This is where students track their own advancements, such as they could document weekly reflections on what they have learned and share improvements in test scores over time. By emphasizing that improvement is more important than achieving a perfect score, you reinforce the value of effort and persistence. For the strategy, use rewards and recognition. In the context of the GO theory, recognition can support either mastery or performance goals, depending on the emphasis. Rewards based on effort and persistence support mastery goals, which encourage self-improvement and resilience. However, when recognition focuses solely on outperforming others, it can foster performance-oriented goals, which could detract from intrinsic motivation and promote comparison-based motivation. So be careful. Rewards can raise the perceived value of a task. We're now looking at the EV theory. Recognition signals to students that their efforts are appreciated. We all enjoy that, enhancing both attainment and utility value. When students feel their hard work is noticed, and teachers, they are more likely to view the task as meaningful and believe they can succeed, which increases motivation. In addition, rewards can be tangible, such as prizes, or intangible, like verbal praise. Let's look at an example of an intervention. Set up a reward system where students can earn points or tokens for meeting specific goals or demonstrating growth in certain skills. You may know this as token economy. Once they reach a certain number of points, they can cash them in for privileges such as extra recess, lunch buddies, or leading a discussion in class. For older students, public recognition such as Student of the Week, award, or a simple announcement praising their effort can be highly motivating and encourage others to aspire similar achievements. Incorporate relevant interests. This was a big one for me. For the geo theory, it recognizes the importance of connecting tasks to personal interest to foster intrinsic motivation and a desire to master new concepts. When learning aligns with student passions, they're more inclined to adopt mastery goals as they feel personally invested in the material. Now let's look at the EV theory. Connecting tasks to relevant interest enhance the intrinsic and attainment value of the task. When students see how their work relates to their goals or interest, they are more likely to view it as important and valuable. This boosts both motivation and engagement. To dive just a little bit deeper, when students see their own interest reflected in the material, they are most likely going to be more engaged. An example of intervention includes, at the beginning of a project or a semester, conduct a brief interest survey to understand students' hobbies and their favorite subjects. Use this information and tailor those projects or to their interest. For example, if students enjoy sports, integrate sports-related scenarios in math problems or have them write essays on famous athletes. Making these connections keep learning relevant and meaningful. Try it out. Dear educators, I encourage you to be mindful of my shared motivation strategies across content areas so that you are successful in meeting the diverse needs of all students. Implementing motivation strategies, such as the ones that I have shared, can be incredibly effective for fostering motivation, especially in a learning or developmental environment. By weaving these strategies together, you create a supportive environment where students feel motivated, acknowledged, and empowered to take ownership of their learning. For example, after setting clear goals, you could provide recognition when milestones are reached and give constructive feedback focused on progress rather than perfection. Incorporating students' interest in this process makes the journey so much more engaging and rewarding. Using this approach, students learn that motivation and success come from setting meaningful goals, receiving supportive feedback, seeing steady progress, and celebrating every step along the way. This combination can foster a resilient, engaged, and motivated audience who enjoys the learning process. At the synthesizing of my 2 acts of motivation reports. In the first act, I applied EV theory to address a lack of motivation in a student. I call him Eric. He is highly gifted in reading, but completely unmotivated in math. The EV theory suggests that motivation is driven by expectancy, and value highlights 4 main components of value: attainment, intrinsic, utility, and cost. I focused on attainment value to connect math with Eric's interest, aiming to make the subject relevant to his personal goals, like becoming a football player. I introduced 3 motivational acts. 1. Clarifying the importance of math, linked math skills to his life goals. 2. Connecting math to personal interest. I used sports-related math problems. And 3. Setting personal goals. This helped Eric set meaningful math-related goals. The results showed improvement, engagement, and reduced disruptive behavior, suggesting that connecting academic work to students' values can increase motivation. Now, with the GO theory, the second report detailed this theory to motivate a group of gifted students disengaged in math. The theory differentiates between mastery goals and performance goals. I aimed to shift my students from performance avoidance to mastery goals. I did this by encouraging collaborative learning, providing constructive feedback, and reinforcing a growth mindset. Normalized mistakes, and I praised persistence. This approach led to a positive shift in classroom dynamics, which increased student participation and reduced anxiety about grades. It was concluded that fostering a mastery-oriented environment enhances students' resilience and intrinsic motivation. In summary, while both theories aim to boost student engagement, EV theory focuses on personal relevance, whereas the GO theory emphasizes growth over competition. Both strategies proved effective in enhancing motivation by aligning classroom experiences with students' personal values and long-term development. Overall experience, I have learned that motivating students effectively requires a combination of understanding their unique interest, setting clear goals, offering meaningful feedback, and recognizing their achievements. Each strategy, from incorporating relevant interest to focusing on progress rather than perfection, plays a crucial role in fostering a learning environment that promotes growth, resilience, and a love for learning. This knowledge can enhance teaching by guiding us to design learning experiences that are student-centered and encourage personal investment in the material. Here are some key takeaways and their applications in the classroom. By applying these strategies consistently, teachers can create a motivating environment where students feel supported, valued, and empowered to take ownership of their learning. This approach not only enhances student engagement and academic success, but also nurtures critical life skills like resilience, goal setting, and self-reflection. Strategies that incorporate student interest, providing clear goals, celebrating progress, and offering constructive feedback, we can foster an environment where students feel empowered, valued, and eager to learn. To all educators, I encourage you to integrate these motivational strategies in your practice. They can transform your classroom into a space where students feel motivated to push their limits and embrace new challenges. By trying these techniques, you're not only promoting academic success, but also inspiring a lifelong love of learning. Let's work together to create classrooms where every student feels motivated, empowered, and ready to thrive. Motivational strategies create growth-oriented environments, fostering engagement and success. Teachers and leaders alike can implement these methods to empower their students and team members. I hope you've enjoyed, and I truly hope that you have found something useful.